So the fallout from D-Wiz's death was always going to come as Kanan finds out that he's lost one of his best friends, but he doesn't know to the full extent his mom's Raquel's involvement in D-Wiz's death. He thinks that it was a revenge hit from Buck's boys because people have been talking that he shot D-Wiz because of Davina, when really it was Kanan that was the one who was shooting him for Davina, as well as protecting his mom's corners. We saw a lot more of Jukebox in this episode, which I was really hoping for as well, and Jukebox's life as a hustler, and I'm going to come to all things Jukebox when we do talk about her role in episode 3. Now Detective Howard is dying as well, but I think we could be meeting a family member of his real soon, but the main talking point coming away from episode 3 is Raqu's plan and hitting Unique where it hurts, because no doubt there will be blowback. So we're dissecting all of this in this review and recap for episode 3 of Raising Kanan, but if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 3 and Power Universe related over the coming months. But let's kick things off where this episode started, which was with Scrappy on the corners of Raquel's corners. They're selling and hustling, and Detective Howard certainly living up to his words and promises that he made to Unique in the last episode, that he was going to make sure that there was only one king in the kingdom. This is why we see Detective Howard, who is going after Raquel's corners and pushing them off the streets, so Unique's crews can take their regulars and effectively taking away their business. They wanted to bleed Raquel dry, but as Scrappy showed us and also taught Kanan, you gotta stick and move, and that's what he does. He's also mentoring Kanan in a way. He's one of Raquel's most trusted soldiers, and they've been taught the same thing. They've been told that D-Wiz was payback for Buck 20 because he and Buck had beef over a girl, and throughout this episode it's telling how much Kanan was hurting from the death of D-Wiz because he knows that he was the one who made the call. He's the one who wanted to protect his mom's corners, and no doubt his decision was fueled with Davina in the back of his mind as well. And Davina again, he's at the cash house. Kanan's dumbass comes out of the cash house right in the open, and Davina even questions the house that Kanan just came out of. And this is why I don't trust Davina. She's not in the game according to Kanan, but as Scrappy knows, everyone's in the game, and I don't think Davina is stupid. She knows to the full extent what this is, and even if she doesn't, the information could well come back around and find its way to Unique real soon. And Davina wanted to know the truth about what happened to Buck, but Kanan of course has to lie, tell her what she needs to hear. He's also so head over heels for this girl, you can see what's coming from a mile away, and that Davina's gonna hurt Kanan and hurt Kanan big. And Unique may definitely have something to say about this when the time comes, and it may come pretty soon after what happened to Unique's business after this episode. Raque hit Unique hard and she had to respond. This was Raque playing chess because she knew that Unique was making deals and selling them out. Of course Marvin had something else to say when it came to this whole situation because he knew that soldiers had bled and died for these corners. Marvin is someone who wants to hit back. He knows that it looks bad, and I do agree with him to a certain extent. But what I don't agree with is they can't be stepping into a war in the streets with Unique because Unique clearly has more power than them. Now if you're wondering where Kanan learned to be 3 moves ahead, then it starts with Raque. She says they're guided by vision, not sight. We're always looking ahead, and she was someone that was always looking ahead. Now Uzamadin, this is their connect, and he has eyes and ears everywhere because he's heard about what's happened this morning with their corners being picked up by Detective Howard and the NYPD, and he weren't giving Raque any more work until they meet. So we get to meet the connect to Raque's drug ring and Unique's too. Now by the way, I do have to say this guy gave me serious Gus vibes from Breaking Bad. Someone who's chilled, someone who's calm, someone who's kept his head down because the real kingpins are the ones that are making the long money. They're not making noise, they're just silent, violent and deadly. And this is why he really does remind me of Gus Fring from Breaking Bad. So Uzamadin Tippett, who everybody calls Dean, he has the Tijuana connect, and he warns Raquel that if police are knocking on her door, then she's not much of an attraction to him. But Raque talks her way out of this. She also knows a weak spot of his, and that's Smurf. She works the angle from Smurf to get inside information on where Unique's re-up is, so she can feed the information to Howard and have him swoop in, leaving Unique's corners high and dry, and you can guarantee Unique will hit back. There is no way he's going to let this slip and slide, and this is where I really think he could use Davina to get to Kanan, because if episode 1 and 2 has taught us anything, Kanan is Raquel's weak spot. She knows it, and Unique also knows it too, and this is where I think Unique will attack. I'm sure we're soon going to find out how smart Unique is and what kind of play he makes, so let's just see what happens and what move Unique now makes. Now of course Raquel was going to give the information to Howard, and he was going to act on it because he's getting shit from his captain, and Howard isn't a man who likes to take shit. He's someone who likes to show his power and have the cops and criminals know that he holds it down because people fear him, but his captain wants a win, and they don't want these little corner busts. He wants a win that they can parade, something that will put them in front of cameras and make him look good. Detective Burke is someone who takes no shit from Howard as well, and also knows that he's got some issues, and the issue is with Detective Howard is he's dying. He has acute myeloblastic leukemia, and this is a type of cancer that usually gets worse real quick if it's not treated, and this is something that Dr. Nichols warns Howard of. She tells Detective Howard that he needs bone marrow transplant, chemotherapy, and they need to test his family members to see if there's a match. But Howard said that that's a short list, but even though it's a short list, I do think it's someone that we could see at some point this season too. They talk about a big twist coming in episode 5, and I really wonder what this big twist is. Could it be someone that we've already seen that is family to Howard? Both his parents are gone, and he says he has cousins in Alabama, But either way, I do think we'll be introduced to Howard's family soon, or someone that is blood, and I really wouldn't be surprised if it's someone close by. But let's talk about Marvin and Kanan, and Marvin's rummaging through Jukebox's shit, and it's the relationship that we've been talking about over the last week from the two, but this is where we really see how ambitious Kanan is. He says he's ready, he's born ready, but you can tell Marvin's reluctant to bring him in, but Kanan proposes that if he helps him onto the corners, then in return he'll put in a word with his moms by telling her that she should trust Marvin more because Rack listens to Kanan, you help me, I'll help you. So that's what Marvin does. He helps Kanan sell some blow, and he'd make about 100 profit by the time he sells about 8 grams. But this is where we really start to see Jukebox, someone who knows what she's doing, who knows how to hustle. I've mentioned a few times that Juke is going to show us that she's a hustler, and episode 3 proved why she's a hustler. Jukebox from Power was someone who was always stealing shit, pulling licks and pulling robberies, and this is how it all started from a very young age, stealing clothes to sell on the streets to make her money. They run into a little trouble when she's doing this, so this is going to come back to Jukebox with the same security guard. But back to the streets and corners, this is where Juke says, listen up, we have the dudes that are rapping in the corners, college kids, bumskis, and skateboarding suckers, and the best bet for Kanan is to sell to these college fools because they got money and they like powder. Walk up to them, tell them what's up, say what you got, but make it sloppy enough that you be sounding crazy or some shit. She knows how much they can sell for, what to, and who they can sell it to, and she tells Kanan that he can sell it at 50. Now this is where Kanan said Famous isn't built for this shit, this is what D-Wiz was always down for, and he's right. Over the last week we've spoken about D-Wiz, how he would have been a good soldier for Raquel because he was down for whatever, whenever. He was someone that had heart and never someone who would run. But this scene shows Kanan's first real experience of selling, and now Kanan is in the game. Elsewhere we see Jukebox confiding in Raquel and telling her about someone that she has, but stopping short from telling her that it's a girl. Raquel tells her all about Symphony and who Kanan also saw half naked touching all his shit. But Juke and Raquel have this bond that her and Marvin don't. They really don't see eye to eye, and it's crazy because Juke is a hustler, she's born a hustler, even more so than Kanan at this stage. But then we have Lulu and his music dream, and this is where we really see his eyes light up when he enters this room, and how Jessica is with Lulu. It really strikes me of how Angela was with Ghost, always pushing Ghost to go for the dream of owning clubs in Miami and pursuing his dream. This is what Jessica is for Lulu, and this is Crown Camacho. For those who don't know, he's the ear to the streets and the plug to the music, and Crown was that guy to go through, but Lulu could be all of what he was, bigger and better according to Jessica, and now the seed has been planted into Lulu's mind, and I just wonder after the death of D-Wiz and Jessica too, will this be a turning point for Lulu? But that was episode 3 and the main talking point from the episode, and something I'm glad we got, and what we saw, why they called Juke a hustler. We've been seeing this other side to Juke, but now we've seen this hustler side to Juke. But let me know what you guys think about episode 3, a lot more character building and getting to know our characters, but let me know what you think about Jukebox, Unique and Raquel's Street Wars, Lulu and his music. Drop all your thoughts down below because I will be back with my second video breaking down some of your key points as usual, so drop your thoughts down below in the comment section, and of course if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Universe related over the coming months. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.